welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Dawn here. So today I'm with you with this gorgeous die set from Clever Prints, and what I'm going to be doing is, I was thinking, oh, what colour cardstock should I actually use? Well, we're going to create our own just with some watercolours, or even just with our what do you call them? Oh dear me, the distress inks or the distress oxides, because I'm thinking how cool would it be to create our very own paper and then die cut it out and then create something with it. I also have some brays here, so I'm thinking as well what might be really cool is to add in some gold. So that's that colour. I also have this pumpkin colour as well, which I'm thinking might be quite nice. So I'm literally just, yeah, I'm just going to spread that onto my brayer like that. Which I probably need. Do you know what I should have got out? My gel plate. I haven't had my gel plate out in like forever. But yeah, so I'm just using this to go on, and we are literally just going to have a play and make our own paper. But I'm wanting like sort of autumn colours for this. I'm not wanting anything you know, I'm not wanting anything too bright, so to speak. But yeah, loving that. Definitely want some gold, so let's actually put it onto my mat and then we'll go from there. So like I said, I should have really had my my gel plate out, but if you don't have a gel plate, then you know all you need is just a brayer, and yeah, just sort of go from there and just have a plate. Now I have definitely put way too much gold on, but that's fine because I'm going to use it all anyway. I'll just come back in with some more of the orange. I'm looking at this, let me just move these out of the way. I'm looking at this and I'm also thinking red. I think I want a nice red in, so that's something else that I think will look really, really nice. So I just think that looks really cool. Okay. Oh, I love that gold. That gold is just divine. Right, okay, so there's that, and then I'm just going to wipe off my brayer as best as I can without putting it in water. Okay, and then get rid of this. Right, and then I want to bring in some more of this, so I'm going to actually pop a little bit onto my mat and grab the brayer again, and then just go in over the top with the orange. So really getting messy today. Do you know what? I'm loving this. This is why I have a glass mat. There's just think about, oh, do you know what? I love how that gold is just peeking through. That looks fab. Right, we need some red. Let me just find a red. Oh, I found one. I'm just going to pop it on. Is that sealed by any chance? It is. I have a sealed red. So I just want a bit. I don't want a huge amount. Okay, and I'm not using any special paints at all for this. Oh, there we go. And how gorgeous is that? Oh, that is just divine. Love it. Isn't that just a beautiful, beautiful paper? So I think with this we can definitely create something that is very autumny. I'm just gonna do around the edges. I'm loving the fact that that gold is really coming through. That is that's just stunning. Do you know, I bought these braids quite a while ago and I've just never got round to using them, which is such a shame because I think it came in a pack of 3. I just went onto Amazon. I can't even remember how much I paid. But yeah, I bought them for when I do my gel printing and haven't used them, which I think is such a shame. But yeah, how gorgeous is that looking? I don't know if you can see the shine from that gold. Absolutely beautiful. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go off camera. I'm going to blast this. I'm going to put these away. I'm going to absolutely blast it with my heat gun so that it's nice and dry, and then we'll come back and we'll die cut it all. So yeah, I'll be back in a second. Okay, so I'm back. That is all nice and dry, so I'm not going to bother clipping this apart, just because I don't feel like we need to. And I'm just going to trim that down. Now this is really, really thick cardstock, so I'm going to do it this way because going across the ways this way, there's less cutting. If I was to put it in that way, then I'm setting the die up to fail, because you've got lots and lots of cutting edges that way. So you want to put it in that way. Now I'm going to run this through a good few times. Because it is a really thick cardstock. It's 300 GSM. So yeah, and for a thicker cardstock you do want to have it so that it is yeah, I mean, we'll see what it's like after 2, and then it might be that I have to put a shim in. I've never actually die cut watercolour cardstock before, so yeah. Oh, there we go. That's actually come out much better than I thought on the first couple. So a couple more go throughs and that will be brilliant. So that is really, really good for a quite a thick cardstock. So I'm pleased with that, because I mean, like I said, it is super thick. So the dies do cut. First time I've used their dies actually. I've got a couple of sets that I've bought that I still haven't got around to having a play with, which I'm not happy about because, yeah. Oh, look at that. They've cut perfectly. So it's now taken these out. So I think I'm going to end up boring you guys. So what I might do, yeah, right. I am going to... I think this actually might have still been a little damp. So as you can see, it has cut quite nicely, and it has stuck to my die as well, but that is fine. I'm just gonna snip it in a few places just where you can see that it's pulling. Oh, there. So I'm not quite sure if that bit is cut. I think it, yeah, I want to say it is. Right. So, oh, I think I've die cut this still wet, you know, guys. I really do. So this is not, this is what you should not do. Right, can we pull this off without it ruining all my pieces? Oh, why did I run it through so quick? You can see it sort of, there's a few areas it hasn't, but it's feeling a little wet. Oops, a daisy. Anyway, I am pleased with that. Right, see if I can get rid of all of this, and the fact this isn't cutting with my scissors is telling me that I've run this through while wet. I'm going to keep it in the video because this shows you guys what not to do. But and also how to salvage it if you have got impatient. I think it was just surface dry, which is probably why that's happened. Never mind, it all has worked out for the best. So yeah, just getting that edge off. Oh, that's so cute. Reminds me of a carrot. Oh yeah, can you see how that's come off? That's because my paper's wet and the paint's come off because it was wet. So don't do that, guys. Don't run it through while it's wet. But how gorgeous is that? So what I'm gonna do is, oh look, yeah, that's actually, I don't know if you can see, that's actually stuck onto the die itself. So that's how wet it was. So yeah, that's my own fault. So what I think I need to do, because that's really nice, I hope I haven't ruined my dies, is actually blast that again and then run it through again but you can tell that it's gone through wet because it's taken the top layer off. Whoopsie daisies. Please, please, please. Oh, there we go. So that's an example of how it should look, although I've took a bit of the top layer off there as well. I'm still going to use these things because I think they still can. Yeah, again, we've took more of the layers off, so don't do it. I'm annoyed with myself because honestly, guys, I thought this was fully dry and obviously it hasn't been. That one doesn't look too bad. Again, you can see where it's sort of taken the top layer off, but you know, we can do something with that. So, and to prove that it's not the dyes, I'm going to run it through with something, with just some plain watercolour cardstock, because I don't want you guys thinking that it's the dyes. It really isn't. This is down to me being very impatient. Oh no, that's going to do it as well. Okay, come on. You can sort of see it's stuck to my dye. There we go. But yeah, it's just, I've just rushed it. I honestly thought it was dry. I went away as well. I dried it and then went away, made myself a coffee and then dried it again. So it might be now though that what I'm going to have to do is run it through. I might have to wash it as well. But run it through my die cutting machine a few times just on some clear cardstock. So I'll show you it done on clear cardstock because I really want you guys to see that this is actually all down to me and has got nothing whatsoever to do with the quality of the dye. The dye itself is amazing, but I literally have just rushed it. But you know, this is why I leave stuff like this in my videos, so that you can see what not to do, and you know, you learn from my mistakes and not your mistakes, sort of thing. But it's just frustrating, isn't it? So just getting rid of all these bits. I mean, I probably could have just as well. Oh yeah. Oh, it's all just stuck to it. That is so frustrating. So this is why we make sure it's completely dry. Like completely dry. I think I need to go and let Quincy out because, and I think I'm going to have to give this a clean because it has now got acrylic paint all over it. So I'm going to hold it up to the camera just so that you can see that it was wet. And it is nothing to do with the dye because you can still see all the paint all over it. That's all of the gold paint, all the acrylic paint. Broken it apart now. Right, okay. So what I'm going to do, let's grab, oh, it's my last sheet actually from this bit. So let's move all those bits. I'm going to pop that on there. We're going to do exactly the same, except I don't know how they were. So maybe put them like that and then show you that by being an impatient Annie, it can really mess things up. Although I can still use them. It isn't the end of the world. Right, let's rewind it back. But I'm just annoyed with myself. Come on. Okay, so it might be that they need to go through. Yeah, they need to go through once more. Just so that it cuts. It's just the pressure. Now what you can do, see the way that I use my plates on my Gemini, I can't fit a shim in with it. So what I normally do is if the paper is too thick for it, I'll run it through again. If it still hasn't worked, then I just grab a piece of cardstock out of my scrap bin and then put the cardstock over the die, and that's normally just enough to do the trick for it. So so yeah, let's have a look. So it might be that we need a shim as well. So yeah, there's a couple of areas that you can sort of see it hasn't quite pushed down enough, but it is a 300 GSM cardstock. So this is what I was saying, this is just some 200 GSM paper. I'm going to pop that on and then put it through. So I literally just lay it on the top. And then reverse that back through. Right, so yeah, what a shame, what a shame. Right, put them over there because we're going to redo it. And let's see if that's worked. As you can see, that's worked so much better. I've still got a little area around here, but quite a few of them have already done, so that's really cool. So there you go. I mean, look, you can see all of the paint off the, actually that looks really cool. So the paint off the die, so I will have to give my die a really good scrub, but the fact that these work lovely is perfect. So we'll just, let me just snip this. Okay, and then I'm just gonna, oh yeah, I need to pop all of those out like so. But yeah, you can see where all of the paint has gone on top of it, which is from the die, which is a bit annoying. But I just wanted you to see that it wasn't the dye the reason why it didn't cut very well. It literally was because I hadn't dried my paper properly. So yeah, okay, get all of them, and we can keep all of these triangles and use them for bits and pieces. I'm thinking of doing some ATCs actually with this. So I think they would look really cool. So let's do this, please. Yay. And the dream stayed in, which is what I wanted, but I wasn't sure if it would. And then we've got our arrow. So yeah, so the dies are absolutely gorgeous. They work beautifully, just not on wet 300 GSM cardstock. Oh dear. But you know, I know that you guys are pretty much like me. You like to see the mistakes happen. You like to see that, you know, sometimes that it's not the product, it is actually the way that we use it. You know, I mean, quite easily, I could quite easily just start this video again, no problems, clean up my mess, and then start again. But then that's not true representation. It's not. That's just me showing you guys that, oh look, we have a die here, it works amazing, even though I know it works amazing. When something like this goes wrong, if you were to make your own paper and it was slightly damp and it didn't work very well, you'll be thinking, oh, the product's rubbish, when in actual fact it's not. It's because your paper is too wet, and you know, this just proves it. I definitely know that you wouldn't be able to do any higher than a 300 GSM for this die set, but I do think it's absolutely gorgeous. Now I am going to go through all of these little bits and bobs that are on the desk, all the little holes that are separate. We're going to go through them because I want to keep them and use them in this. So but yeah, what I'm going to do, these bits are from another video, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab, so all of the, let me use my embellishment one, so everything that's sort of ruined, let's get rid of them, because it really is just a little bit pointless having those. I'm just really annoyed because I know what happens when I try and die cut. I've done it before, and I know what happens if it's not fully dry. And I think sometimes we can forget, and then something as simple as this, I can't save that either, right? Okay, so like you're probably thinking, why are you keeping all these little bits? And the reason why is we can use all of these little bits for texture. And then once I finish, then I'll put them in the recycling. But you never know what you can make out of the little bits and pieces. I'm thinking we can make a really cool background with these. But yeah, I think let's make an ATC. So let's use our paper that we created. Let's use that as our ATC bases. So ATC size is 3.5 inches by 2.5 inches. So we'll see how many we can cut from that. I know this is probably a little bit boring, but yeah. Trust me, when you see me start using them, you'll understand. But the shapes are really funky. Really funky. So yeah, if we can use them, oh, then why not? I think if we can use them, we should. But you get inspiration from everything, don't you, these days, and everywhere, and it's just nice. You could even actually use these bits for shaker elements. Oh, I've got lots. I don't want all of them because they're not all brilliant, so we just want the ones that sort of stand out more. Oh, have an M there, I'll use that. So I think just get a few more in here, and then I'm going to put the rest in my recycle bag. I always have a recycle bag right next to me now, that everything goes in, because I think anything that we can do to help save our planet, we should. Okay, right, there we go. And then let's get rid of these bits like so. Right, okay, so I mean, look at that. Look, it's even wet on the back. You silly woman. Well, you know, these things happen, I suppose. Oh, look at that. Look what I just did. Right, let's get that. And let's pop it all in there. Right, and let's do 3.5 by 2.5. So I'm going to go to 5, and then, oh, that's pretty wonky. 2.5. Right, so there's 2 bases. So we're going to be able to make 6 bases using our paper that we've just made, so that's really good to know. There's 1 and 2, and then just do this one. There we go. Right, so I have them all cut down. And then what we're going to do is, using the bits that we've got, we're just going to sort of do them in between each one. I'm going to bring in one of the other stamp sets, I think, as well. So let's see what stamp sets we've got. So first of all, definitely going to use that one. So that one is Think Wise. So, because I want it for the words. I want like a backgroundy style one. I'm thinking this one maybe. I like them as well. Yeah, right. So we're going to be Thinking Tribal and Think Wise. Those are the 2 stamp sets that I'm going to use. We're going to just add some very basic inking to these. So now the good thing about this is we've got the 2 borders, and we've got them in the 2 different sizes, which is just fabulous. So I'm going to go with the smaller size on both. Put it on there. And then, now I would always suggest take your ink pad to your stamp rather than this way, but for this purpose I'm going to do it this way. And what we're going to do is, I'm just going to put on some borders. Like so. So they're all going to have this border some way. So all just differently, because why not? And just for added interest. And then this one, down on the other side. Because you want, when doing ATCs, this, you always do like a set of ATCs, and you want it so that you have it where they all have the same elements, but they're all different, and that's what makes, I mean, you can actually have them all the same if you want them to be. This is just my personal preference. Now, I'm loving this flower, so I'm going to stamp this flower on them as well. Oh, that looks gorgeous. I love it. Oh, yeah, that is just divine. That is absolutely stunning. So we're just going to go all the way around, adding in some more details, and then like so. And then we'll come in with the die pieces in a moment. Right, oh, that's absolutely gorgeous. I love that. I absolutely love that. Right, let me just put this away for now. We will be bringing it back out because I'm going to put some words on. So there'll be 2 of each of the words. So now I'm just going to do this. I'm going to grab our pieces that we've just die cut. And what I'm going to do is actually alter them just ever so slightly, just to go, so that one on there, and that one probably around there. So maybe, yeah, I'm liking that. And this one can go on there. That one I like that. The arrow, yeah, loving that. The feather, we have to have the feather on. So there, actually, do you know what? I'm going to change that and put that there because we've got some other lovely pieces and I really would like to use them all. Or at least most of them. So there, and that bit I'm going to pop on there, and then that bit on there. Yes, I was going to use those little bits, but I don't think I'm going to. No, I think I'm going to leave it as it is. Right, so let's get that these all glued down. But please don't be discouraged. Honestly, if these are absolutely gorgeous. And you know what? When I got the kit, I did think, I have no idea where I'm going to go with this, or if I'm going to be able to make something with it. And you know what? It's actually really easy to create with. So, and you can use it as a bit like Zentangling, but with paper piecing. Oh, we should do that. If there's a dodgy edit, I do apologise. Right, okay, so I'm just going to continue. I don't even know where I left off. It sounded like somebody had come into the house, but no, it's me just imagining things. I just hope that I remember to edit out me shouting, hello, is anybody there? Because yeah, I don't like my craft room's at the back of the house, so yeah. And I always hate hearing noises, especially if I'm in the house on my own. So my children, and there's a lady, my children are with their grandma for the day. Husband is at work, so I have a day of having lots of fun and lots of filming. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm catching up on, yeah, on everything, which is really awesome. But I just hate it when you think that somebody is coming to the house and then it turns out to be no one, because then you're always on edge for some reason. Okay, so I'm just cutting all these bits off like so. Okay, I'm just gonna do that. Right, and then, but don't they look fab? Do you know what? I'm really glad actually. The dies broke. Well, the dies didn't break, but the paper broke and didn't. And it was still wet because this isn't what I had planned. I don't know what I had planned. I think it was just to make something out of the pieces, but I just wanted to get messy and have a play. So we still have, we still ended up with something really, really pretty. But if I hadn't put my paper through wet, we wouldn't have got these. And how gorgeous are those? They're just absolutely fab. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come in with my black pen and I'm just going to add on some pen detailing. Like so. So just on a few like bits of it. Okay. And it's just so that it all sort of blends together, which is what we want to happen. And plus it's just that sort of little doodling moment, isn't it? It's where we can have a doodle and just... And don't worry about if you're not getting it right, or I mean, I've just gone out the lines there twice, and you know, it really doesn't bother me. It's just part of the process of us creating what we want. So yeah, and then we're just going to go around these. It's just all these added little details really do make the difference. So those two are done, and then I just think words now. I don't think we need to really add much else to them, which I just think is perfect. Okay. And then that one. Let's do our feather. So it really is just sort of, yeah, having fun, you know, playing with your products, getting to know your products as well. You'll find that once you start crafting with certain products that, you know, you'll start getting lots and lots of ideas in your head, and it's just wonderful when that happens. And then you just, that's it. You can't sort of stop having a play. So that's what we are doing. Okay, and then I have to be careful because actually that is still wet, would you believe it? So I'm just going to go around this one like so, and I really am going outside of the lines, I'm going off, but you know what, it's just part of the creative process and I think it turns out lovely. Right, I'm just going to go all the way around, just giving this a black border. I really do feel like these need one. Okay, so there's one. And then we're just going to go all the way around. I think I'll have to wash my hands though. They're absolutely covered. Okay, so there's that one. So all the way around. So it was watercolour cardstock that I did use. It was 300 GSM. So the fact that it's cut it out of the 300 GSM is really good. I'm really pleased with that. I never go any higher than a 300 GSM, so which is awesome. I know I've got quite a few dies that won't cut through. They'll go up to about 250. But yeah, these ones seem to push quite nicely. So I'm pleased with that. But yeah, like I said, I'm not going to edit out my mistakes because I think we can learn a lot from mistakes, can't we? You know, I mean, obviously I haven't learnt because I did this when I first got a die cutting machine. I thought, oh, I'll make myself some papers, and yeah, I did exactly the same thing. So I knew what would happen, and I honestly thought it was all dry, and yeah, obviously it wasn't. But yeah, I suppose it was quite good that it happened on camera, because then you guys got to see my little mistake too. So I'm going to get Dream. I'm actually thinking of Dream on all of them. Yeah, I might just do Dream on them all. So there's one. Ooh, let's have this one on its side. 2. And at the bottom, 3. That one can be diagonal. Our lady's starting. They're about to start play fighting. So last one. And then I'm going to quickly end it. Can you hear her? So cute. So cute. So I'm going to go. There are those done. Lady. No. Wait. So those are my ATCs using the gorgeous dies and 2 different stamp sets. So we used Thinking Tribal and we used Thinkwise, and we used the die set. I can't find the packaging too. That's Princey. And then we've used the gorgeous die set as well. So do check out the description box below, because you'll find there all of the information on where you can buy these. And I'll be back again using these products very, very soon. So I hope you've enjoyed. And that's goodbye from the doggies, and it is a goodbye from me. So happy crafting, everyone. Bye.